Welcome to OH-Brew. I'm Craig Morris and I like beer. And today we're in Barberton, Ohio at the Ignite Brewing Company. They've got a lot of great beers and a lot of cool things inside. Let's check it out.
This episode of OH-Brew is sponsored by Beer and Ale Traveler. They'll drive you to drink in style. Let Beer and Ale Traveler plan your next brewery or winery tour. Choose from their pre-planned tours or sit down with Rick to customize a tour for your group. And remember, you don't have to drive yourself. Ride in comfort in their limo-type bus with 2 flat-screen TVs and a rockin' sound system. Need transportation for a concert, birthday, or bachelorette party? Whatever the occasion, call Rick to set it up.
Welcome to OH-Brew. My name is Craig Morris, of course, and joining us from the Ignite Brewing Company today is
Megan Slater.
and
Michael Chisnell.
and what a beautiful place you all have here.
Thank you very much.
Let's get started with history. I know there's more than a couple owners. There's a lot of them actually. And you share it equally somewhat.
Oh yeah.
So let's get started with how this came together first and foremost.
All right, well, it started with beer, which...
Kidding.
I know, shocking, isn't it?
Awesome.
And whiskey.
And whiskey. And whiskey.
No cigars?
No cigars.
No cigars? Okay.
At least not most of the time.
All right.
So really, it kind of got rolling after my husband and I built our house in our new neighborhood. And Friday nights turned into parties at our house. People would bring food. It was kind of a potluck. Bring it in. We'll put something together. And it always had beer with it because we had our home brew. My husband was a home brewer with Adam, one of the other owners, Adam Reinhardt, and their home brew was in our Keyser. And so everybody'd come over and we'd hang out and drink beer and eat food and have fun. We eventually got Michael to stop drinking whiskey as much and got him drinking beer. Turned him into a connoisseur.
Up until about 4 or 5 years ago, I never drank beer. So I have a small whiskey collection, which has helped on the flavor side.
It has. It's been fun. So as the parties kind of continued over the course of a couple years, we got to the point where people were coming over. They really liked the beer.
And you didn't know who they were?
No, it was all friends.
Okay.
They were all friends.
All right.
More of a social gathering.
It was social.
Party,
Yeah, social gathering. I mean, because we had our kids there. It was just a bunch of families hanging out.
We lived down the street. We noticed you guys were having a party. We just thought we'd check it out.
No, I never quite got that big. It was just friends and their families. But people were wanting to take beer home with them. And they enjoyed it that much, and we'd give it away, and eventually it got kind of expensive to keep giving it away. They wanted to buy it, and we said, yeah, that's kind of illegal. We can't sell it. So that dovetailed really well with, I know Michael and Jason were on a lot of different community organizations, and we all cared a lot about Barberton and liked the progress that was being made. And we saw an opportunity to take the beer that we were already making and make a difference by doing something to make our community better. And that was really where it started. And then
4 of the 6 of us travel a fair amount for our day jobs, and getting to see the impact of a local craft brewery on that local community and how it's continues to help a lot of area businesses and kind of give a rebirth to their downtowns. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is a place I get to travel to, and there's a corner brewery that on a Tuesday night they're packed, and it's just a good social environment and a great experience. And getting to travel all over the country and see that stuff is why is that not happening in our town, and how come no one's doing that in Barberton? And we answered the question, and that's how it came to be.
Is this location here, I mean, was it first and foremost? Or did you look at a couple different locations around?
We considered the region, but ultimately wanted it to be in our downtown. And those Friday night conversations often tended to be, how do we reignite downtown Barberton? In the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, this was the place that you came to shop. This we had the department stores, we had the commerce, and at the time the community was almost twice as big as it is today. And so you came to Barberton, and since the Rust Belt hit, you stopped coming to Barberton, and the windows go dark, and downtown needs reignited, and that was a lot of genesis there. So, yeah.
So
That's where the name kind of came from. So Ignite was be that spark.
And with the whole Ignite thing, it was that nod to the town founder. It was O.C. Barber, which is Barberton, Barber's town, Diamond Match Factory. So today you go to the store, buy Diamond paper products. You buy a box of matches today, it says Diamond Match on it. The diamond shape is what gave O.C. Barber the competitive advantage. You could pack a lot more matchsticks into a boxcar as you're rolling it down. In the late 1800s, 85% of the world's matches were made by Diamond Match Factory about 1,000 feet away.
now you also have like a motto, and I mean, everything seems to be pristine and in order.
We're very intentional
Okay.
about just about everything. That's what happens when you have 3 engineers and a financial planner. We are methodical and yeah, very intentional.
And I also heard through the grapevine that your brewer just makes wort. His wife really does make the beer.
No? So
Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry.
So with
Whoa,
the
whoa.
so
we've
my
got-
joke
sidetracked.
is
His joke.
So there are 3 husbands and 3 wives in the six pack. So from the ownership team, Megan is married to Jason, and Megan is the one that makes the beer.
Oh, it was her that we were
She's
talking
the one
about.
that makes the beer.
Oh,
Yes.
It's
He
me.
set me up for that. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a setup.
Yeah, no.
Adam is
Adam's the brewer.
He's our brewer. He's the evil genius behind the master blends, if you will, and
Yep.
we get to have fun talking about all those things. But I like to harass Adam because you just make wort. All that you're doing is once the flame goes off, you transfer it over to the fermenters, and Megan's the one that makes the beer. She's the one that makes all the magic happen.
That's great.
So
I get to
he
clean
just makes
everything.
sugar water. So
And he didn't tell me that it was you.
Oh, yes.
I set
so
you up for
he
failure. My
he set
apologies.
me up. I
Yeah.
fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yep. Well, that's
It's
all right.
not the first time. Just
Well-
It won't be the last this interview. So
No. We just kind of, it evolved. Our roles evolved. So Adam and Jason were the brewers at home. They were the one that they developed the base recipes and the stuff that we were going to make going forward. And when we got going, we incorporated, we got the building under lease. We came in, we got our TTB license far sooner than we expected.
7 weeks versus 1 year.
Yeah, we were told expect it to be 7 to 9 months. We got it in 7 weeks, which meant we had to brew it here and we couldn't give it away anymore. We had to sell it, but we had a really, really, really dirty, unrenovated space. So we were brewing here in the garage, cleaned it up what we could, and then we were brewing on our pilot system, which is over on the wall over there, just a 10-gallon system. At that time, they were brewing on the weekends, and then I didn't work on Fridays. I had a flexible schedule with my full-time job, and I was coming in on the Fridays that I was off and pushing beer around, cleaning stuff, moving stuff, which just kind of evolved as the system got bigger. I just kept pushing more beer around. And so that's kind of how I evolved into the role that I'm in during the brewing ops. So I handle all of the cellaring, I handle all of the packaging, quality control, that kind of stuff. That I evolved into that.
So the building itself, this was a bombed out parking lot out in front of the building. It started its life as a BF Goodrich tire garage. So you had your 5 garage bays, center post lift. We're physically sitting on top of one of them that we removed out of the ground. Up in the front area, which is the tap room now, that was black and white tile floor, championship tire showroom floor type experience.
smells like rubber.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a
There was
full
dust.
wall of windows, so you could actually sit there and watch your car get worked on and all those things. And actually where all the brewing equipment's sitting, that was 2-story floor to ceiling, 2-story tire racks that have been there for 60 years. You had all the carbon black and the buildup and all good healthy things that were all 2x4 shelving. So rip that out, converted half of the parking lot into a 3,000 square foot patio, which is phenomenal to have Bay 1 and Bay 2 roll up. Garage doors are here, everything just completely set up and going. When we bought the building, we ripped out 1,500 square feet of concrete, all new sewers, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, on down through the list. Her husband Jason jokes it's we bought 4 walls and most of a roof. We didn't really buy a completed building.
Right.
So Megan GC oversaw the construction and build out, and we all were involved in the building design and making sure that what if we set this over here as we're getting everything laid out. Yeah, so it's great to get the building completely redone.
These doors were a gift, huh?
Amen. Yeah. Earlier, well, at the very end of last year, we were fortunate enough to almost triple our brewing capacity, and it was just bolt-in. It was just plug and play. There was no big construction overhaul. With the garage doors, it's just carry them in, get them set on the floor, and get rolling. So
It was really fun to watch them bring in 15-barrel tanks, bring them in, stand them up, and then just wiggle them right over where they needed to be. So
Moolah.
it was great.
yeah.
Give us some grain and let's go to town.
That's
Exactly.
exactly right.
Well, speaking of containers, behind us,
Yeah.
there is some barrels.
Yeah.
Back there's some brake tanks and some other stuff.
Yeah. So in
Let's
the barrels,
talk about the brew house a little.
the brew house, yeah, we'll start there. So we have a split 7 barrel, so 2 3.5 barrel Psycho brew house. When we were setting off to do this, it was how do we get the right type of brew house with the throughput, but also create the varieties. So we didn't want to have a 15 barrel brew house right out of the gate and only 5 beers on draft. We wanted to, again, make sure the consumer had the ability to come in, experience, try on the right beer for them, and we've been able, come hell or high water, keep at least 14 beers on draft since the day we opened.
What was the first beer?
The very first beer that actually created Ignite when we were in the homebrew side was our Russian Imperial Stout.
So did it transfer? Did it make it here?
It's
Oh, yeah.
18 degrees.
18 degrees.
So 18 degrees is the point of perfect darkness as the sun in the earth is turning. So that's the point in the sky, the night sky, where you have perfect darkness. And
That's awesome.
Russian Imperial Stout, that's where the name was born
That's
from.
very cool.
But that was the first beer in all of the home brewing where, holy smokes, this is an 11% ABV beer that is super smooth, super complex flavor profile.
Could get you into trouble, and may have a couple times.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, so I know it got me into trouble a couple times.
Yeah, so that went on. That was the first beer that we entered in 2016 to Wizard of Oz, I believe, and that took home gold for its category, which is a big regional homebrew competition. Phenomenal beer, a lot of good guys doing a lot of great things, guys and gals, of course. So, but that beer was the first time it's like, okay, this is really good. And then we hit an IPA that we now call Lost on Denali that, like, holy smokes, we maybe should share this with the marketplace. It's kind of fun. So the brew house, we started with 3 7 barrels and 2 4 barrel fermenters. Again, that allowed us to get the different varieties, get the different volumes that we needed to. And then just recently in December, we were able to add on 3 15 barrel fermenters from Portland Kettle Works.
But
Yeah.
Psycho Brew, who made the brew house, was a phenomenal partner with us, and they
And
work.
still
They
are,
still
yeah.
work really well
That's
whenever
where they're
we've got any
located.
issues. It just happens to be where they're located,
And
a little bit
in
north.
the mitten up north,
Barrels.
18.
The winter of 18 was the first time we moved into giving barrels a try.
So yeah, because of the background on the whiskey side, being able to match up flavor profiles in the beer, in the base beer, and then what are the flavors we're trying to highlight. Buffalo Trace is one of the best distilleries out there. Pairing that up with our Russian Imperial, massive vanilla comes out of it, and super, super tasty. We have went out with, we have our Belgian Triple coming, hopefully later on this year, as long as the beer turns out well. But that Belgian Triple, pairing that up with Willet, Triple Pot Still, super, super good bourbon that isn't well known in Ohio. It's hard to get in Ohio, but that particular good honey profile, good flavor shining through on that. So I think that'll pair well with what we're doing on the Belgian triple, which is our flighty temptress. So yeah.
So you just skipped over the whole Christmas ale, or
Christmas
Ignite the
ale,
Lights that we put in barrels.
Ignite the Lights is, again, that pulling the vanilla, coming through with the honey, and all the other seasonal spices that create a lot of joy. In my personal opinion, and I'm very biased, obviously, but that Christmas ale in 2018, when it went into barrels and had it here this past season, was the best beer we've ever made, and frankly,
really
one of the best beers I've ever had in my life. And I may have sampled one or two. But yeah, so that Christmas ale, Ignite the Lights, is on the barrel. Something magical happens in that oak. It's absolutely splendid. Cool. So we have a lot more of that aging and ready to go for next season. So can't wait to uncork that and get it out there. So
Looking forward to that one.
All right.
So
Well, I think we pretty much got everything covered. But now is the fun time. Just a little bit of beer doesn't do a person good.
no.
Let's sample a whole lot more. Let's check out the samples that they have in store for us.
Great.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to OH-Brew, and this is my favorite segment of the whole program. It's the tasting part. But before I do that, we have brand new faces that are joining us this time, and with me is
Jason Slater
and
Adam Reinberg.
and explain kind of you guys' jobs.
Absolutely.
The two people that we talked to before, they pretty much told us about you guys, but we'd rather hear it from yourself.
Fantastic, yeah. So again, name's Jason. Megan, who I briefly met earlier, is my wife. My responsibility, or what I've really taken on since we started the whole thing, Adam and I originally, before Ignite started, we're homebrewing together. And as we transitioned to the brewery, I took on a lot of the licensing, the finance, the bills, basically making sure that everything gets paid and the lights stay on. So taking on a lot of that side of things and helping on the operations side.
And they did say that you liked Stroh's when you were in college. Is that true? No, just kidding.
It was probably Natty Light.
Natty Light, okay. Well, if that proves you went to college. How about you?
Like Jason said, we were doing a lot of brewing before we started this. My main role back there is to do all the brewing. So I do all the hot side work, and then Megan helps me on the cold side with all the cellaring work that she does, and then helps me when I need an extra set of hands in the bag too. Yeah.
It is so very cool on how you guys work as a unit. That's great. It's not, just a couple people, it's a team.
It's a team effort.
It's very, 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 very cool.
Yes.
All right, now, the fun part.
Absolutely.
The beers. All right, let's start out with this beer.
Alrighty,
This one is
this is our current attraction.
Current Attraction.
So current attraction is a riff on our base Matchstick Blonde Ale, and this is a version of it that we use fresh black currants, or I guess a puree of black currant to give the color and give that tartness, and really is kind of a riff off our original Cherry Blonde, the one that won us the award right out of the gate.
So you won an award, state of Ohio.
We were blessed enough, about 2 weeks before our official ribbon cutting, we won a silver medal Great American Beer Fest for the Cherry Blonde.
Oh, okay.
So
very
back
cool.
back in 2018, we were,
Nice.
which was a great lead into our ribbon cutting a few weeks later.
Don't get any better
So-
than that, guys.
So yeah, it was. We've had a lot of fun. This base blonde ale has taken flavors really, really well, which we'll talk about another one here in a minute. But this is our most current version of the fruited blonde ale.
Okay. Great tasting beer. All right. Where are we going next?
So from that, we'll continue on in this blonde theme before things get a little more wild. you want to take this next one here. Nice crystal clear, looks like a kind of your everyday blonde ale, but as you bring it to your nose, notice the heavy coffee character.
Wow.
So this rapidly became one of our best sellers and one of the customer favorites. This is called the Blonde Barista, and is each batch is done with whole beans from Bent Tree up in Kent, and it's a Guatemalan bean that we use.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Breakfast beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes well with donuts. I can
Created
attest to
well.
this.
Goes well with donuts?
It does.
Do you dip them?
I haven't gone to that level, but I'm
Get
sure.
those little donut fair.
I'm sure Mike has.
Yeah. Well, turns out we actually had we had a donut truck here a couple times last year, and this beer was usually in the other hand. So.
Well, see, I already know about Mike, and I know how he does things. It's beer in one hand and a little bit of whiskey in the other, which is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's acceptable to the beer community.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're not going to boot him out. But you guys thought about it? No,
No,
just kidding.
no. Actually, it's funny when he and I really met. He wasn't a beer drinker and I wasn't a whiskey drinker, and now we both drink both. So I'm not sure we did each other a favor, but here we are.
Very cool. Yeah, you can really smell that coffee too.
Yeah, it really comes through nicely, and it's one, like I said, from a sales perspective, both in the tap room and in distribution, has been really, really popular for us.
Wow. This next one, the next two actually, are pretty exciting. This one,
Yeah,
where are we going there?
So Mountains of Curiosity. This is it's about a 6% stout, base stout, and then cacao nibs and coconut added, and then the little flare on the top with toasted coconut rim. That seems to be very popular.
And it gets everywhere.
Mike will clean it up.
Yeah, this one was really born out of our. We've got
We've got a Curiosity Stout,
Curiosity Stout.
And a Curiosity IPA that we have registered that are kind of like experimental recipes, experimental names. So the Curiosity IPA, which I think is up there right now, maybe.
just went away.
Oh, it just went away. Must have been yesterday or the day before. But we always keep a version number on that. So version 1.4, 1.5. So when you come in, check the version number. If it's different, then it's going to be a different beer. And we can change up hops. We can change up grain, yeast to play around. And
It's a great way for us to learn and
Yeah.
see what people enjoy, what they like, what they don't like, and without overcommitting to anything.
yep.
The show's producer, Kerm, ordered one of these earlier here. I've yet to hear him say anything about it, but by the chagrin on his face, it tells a story. Very good stuff.
Excellent.
All right, where are we going next, guys?
The next one is Heroes and Legends. This is a new double IPA, a la New England style, so it's got a little bit of haze to it. It's brewed to not be so bitter up front, but you get more of the hop flavor, hop aroma from it. 9%, but it drinks remarkably smooth for a 9% beer.
And yeah, in this one, I believe it was Azaka and Medusa.
Yeah,
were the core hops.
Azaka and Medusa hops, which we've used some Azaka in the past, but Medusa has been a new hop for us.
So that definitely brings a
So
unique
it
character.
performed very well, and
Yeah.
you're going to continue on using it.
Assuming supply is there.
Assuming
yeah.
we can find it,
Ah.
yes.
It's one of those tough ones then,
It's a
huh?
limited supply.
Okay.
We've come to find out. Yeah.
That's always a bummer.
Yeah.
You,
Always part of the process.
well, and it'll get better as time goes on.
It will.
All right. Sample the beers.
Yeah.
You guys have a killer website.
Yes. Ignite.beer. Yeah.
Go ahead.
www.ignite.beer. And as far as kind of the social media aspect, both Facebook, Instagram, and Untapped at #IgniteBeer. And yeah, please check us out. It's been a lot of fun building up the brand, and give us your feedback.
Yeah, the first time I was here, I wanted my picture up there on that screen in the worst way. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, but
Yeah, it's a fun
I
little way
got
to
to
get people
try
to
that
engage.
out. But Untapped is a very cool thing. It gives your location, you know, lets you guys know, gives you a little bit of feedback on
For sure.
what
Feedback's
people out
always
there are
always nice
liking.
to have. Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, your website as well. Website is very, very well done website.
Thank
Got
you.
a lot to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
proud of.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's always looking for ways to enhance and improve that experience and help people understand the bigger picture, the whole message of the brand.
All right. Well, thanks guys for giving us the
Definitely.
sample tour. I know the funny part is we didn't try them all, but
Yeah.
that just means I still have work to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Something to look forward to.
nothing wrong with that. As you all know, at O-Brew, we like to talk to the patrons and see what they think of the beers. And joining me this time is Josh. Josh, are you from here?
I am.
In Barberton?
I'm from Norton.
Norton.
Mm-hmm.
So you come here regularly?
I do. I come here often.
Okay. And so obviously you've developed a fancy for their beers.
Yes, I've been coming here before they officially opened.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan.
Big
Always
fan?
have been, yes.
What kind of beer do you normally drink here?
Usually I drink a stout, but I've become very partial to the Heroes and Legends.
Heroes and Legends. That's what I've got in my little
Yeah, it's very
sample
good.
there. You enjoy it?
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Your favorite beer of all time here?
My favorite beer. Man, I don't know.
It's a tough one, huh?
It
Do you
is.
remember the names? Easy to remember?
Yeah, they are easy, but I've had so many. Ignite the Lights is very good. Their Christmas ale is delicious.
Christmas ale, and we've heard that.
Yeah.
And, you know, not being able to remember a name of a beer when they have so many good ones, that's not a bad thing.
No, it isn't.
So thanks for joining us on O-Brew. We're back at Ignite Brewing Company, and we are talking to
Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan, how long you been coming here?
Oh, geez. My first trip here was probably early last summer, I think. And
So
then,
you got a sleeping bag in the
yeah,
back
I do,
now?
yeah. And there's,
No?
I have a pillow with my name embroidered on it.
Okay. So what kind of beer you drink when you come?
This is the Heroes and Legends, but I'm a huge fan of the Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Curiosity is my go-to.
Go-to.
And
And
it's-
tell me
and
why you like it.
It's just incredible for hazy. It's incredibly drinkable.
So it's a hazy IPA,
Yeah.
the one that you like.
and
okay.
it's amazing. They do a really good job here.
All right. And you go to other breweries, check out other places?
I do. I go to a lot of them actually, and from top to bottom, that menu is incredible.
And they do an awesome job here. Well, thanks for talking to us
Sure.
today. And remember, at O-Brew, we're always in search of Ohio's finest beers. And this guy right here, he can attest to that.
Proof.
Proof. We'd like to thank everybody here at Ignite Brewing Company for their hospitality today. They have a wonderful facility. You'll want to make sure you check it out. We'd also like to mention Beer and Ale Traveler. He does a great job getting you from one brewery to another brewery or a concert event or anything of that sort. And remember, at O-Brew, we are always in search of Ohio's finest beers.